Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mavis and Me. I want to apologize for not being super on YouTube lately. I've kind of had a lot of stuff going on. The number one thing, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a little video series maybe about this, is my family and I have decided to take a trip on a cruise boat with Mavis. Not that they want her to go necessarily, but I'm taking her. And we are going to be stopping in the Bahamas, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. And we're going to be departing from Miami. So all this involves a plane trip from Seattle all the way over to the Miami area. We're going to get on the cruise boat. It's a 7-night cruise, and then off at these different departures to check out the areas, and then back. And then we're hoping to take maybe 3 or 4 days to drive down to Key West and check out that area down there. And we've been there before. We really like it. It's kind of fun. It's different from where we are, for sure. Totally different from where we live. So we enjoy visiting Key West. Anyway, the paperwork for getting this taken care of with Mavis is ridiculous. I picked this itinerary because I thought, it'll be easy. The Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico are part of the U.S. territories, so I think it'd be like going to, Alabama or, Arkansas or something. And for the most part, I kind of think it is, but I think there's some opportunities there for them to have issues. And then getting into the Bahamas, because it's a completely foreign country, has just been a nightmare. And part of it is because it's almost impossible to find up-to-date accurate information about what is required. I have no problem doing the requirements, we're all good on her vaccines and everything like that, but just finding what those requirements are has turned into quite the pickle. And I'm not sure if it's because there's been a lot of hurricanes down in that area, if it's messed up their websites. But if you go to some of these websites for these countries and you click on the button for what to do to import an animal, a dog or a cat, it says page not found. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So I contacted my local APHIS office, which is animal plant health, I don't know, something with the USDA. Anyway, to ask them, thinking that person would say, okay, so here's what you're going to need. Bloop, 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 and bloop. And no, she didn't do that at all. She was just like, well, you're going to have to look that up, and I can't tell you that information. And I was like, what is your job anyway then? If you're not there to help me import, which is silly. I'm not importing Mavis to another country and leaving her there. I'm not selling her. She's going to be there on the beach for 2 hours, and then she's going to get back on the ship and be done. But all this stuff you have to do in order for this to work. And of course, the threat of, maybe them confiscating her, taking her away and euthanizing her, because she's some kind of diabolical health threat to their country, obviously raises my anxiety. So I've been working on some deep breathing exercises and, trying to just tell myself I can only do what I can do with the information that I can find. And it's been a real challenge. I mean, I have to find a certain type of veterinarian that is accredited, and a lot of them aren't because they don't want to mess with this import-export stuff. And then some countries, evidently, you even have to have it endorsed by a USDA vet, which there's only one that you can send it to in my area, and it's down in Tumwater, Washington, and you can't drop it off. You have to mail it by FedEx overnight, and you have to pay to have it FedEx overnight back to you, and it costs all this money, and this has been a royal pain in the butt. Luckily, I've got the airfare all set up. I've changed my seats so that I have some at least bulkhead or, economy plus, so there's a little more room for her to lay on the floor. I managed to get all that stuff situated. I think once I get her international health certificate, I'll be good to go for the Virgin Islands and for Puerto Rico. But the Bahamas, I had to fax them it's like an application to import an animal. It cost $10 each time, and the fax, they called me the next morning, the first time I sent it in, saying that it didn't have an adequate amount of information on it, which I thought, well, it had everything you asked for. But so I said, what else do I need on there? So I redid it with some of that information, which is kind of irritating because one of the things they require is proof that the dog is a certified service dog, which, as we all know, doesn't exist. And I explained to her, I said, well, if you've seen that before, that's probably because those were program dogs, from CCI or ADI or one of those, dogs that, the Canine Commands for Independence for a seeing eye dog. I said, but, and she says, you must send this information. So, okay. So I sent the best thing I could find, which is this little certificate thing. So It doesn't really mean anything here, but maybe it'll mean something there. I'm waiting to see. It should come back hopefully by Wednesday. They'll fax it back, which then of course I have to pay to receive the fax as well. And then I can move on with my vet and try to get all this information taken care of, get the health certificate done, and hopefully be on my way. We're leaving in about 4 weeks, and believe it or not, it's getting crunch time here. You'd think that was plenty of time. I've been working on this for 3 weeks now, and I just keep running into walls and not finding information that I need. So I will try to update this and maybe post it as like a series, for make it take a couple weeks or something, one at a time. I don't know. We'll see. And you can kind of follow me along on my adventure. I hope you're not getting any anxiety out of this like I am. And I will talk to you next time. All right. Bye.